Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Crimson Lotus, issue number 1. Alright, listen, I am not the biggest Hellboy fan in the world. I know, sacrilege, sin, just terrible, terrible, blasphemous. But all that heresy aside, yeah, I'm not the hugest Hellboy fan in the world, but this was particularly good. Alright, enraptured with every single word written in this comic book, man, and every image. It was great. All right, so Crimson Lotus, issue number 1. Probably going to be a couple of spoilers in this one because it is an issue number 1, and I do want you to buy it. I do want you to, consider it at least because, wow. So the character was created by Guy Davis and John Arcudi. John Arcudi actually did the story. Maybe it's Arcudi. I think it's Arcudi. Anyway, letter C. C's suck. Just because we've got S and K. Anyway, so art by Mindy Lee, colors by Michelle Madsen, letters by Clem Robbins, and cover by Tonsi Zonjic. Tonsi's been doing a couple of covers this week, hasn't he? So anyway, we get the story of this little girl. I guess she is the Crimson Lotus, and she's watching fireworks on the other end of the bay. The problem is not really fireworks, it's World War freaking II. So, or at least I'd imagine. Did they show a year on here? I don't know. But I imagine it's World War II. The Japanese and the Russians were going at it. And yeah, that makes perfect sense. World War II was really just a continuation of the Japanese-Russian War for the most part. Actually, so was World War One. Anyway, so with all of this absolute craziness going on, this little girl is walking back and she sees, I guess this temple that she knows, and her father is responsible for guarding it along with a couple of other soldiers. And what looks like freaking Rasputin goes walking in. I imagine it's got to be him because he's really tall. He's a sorcerer, and he looks like Rasputin. So there's that. Those are my 3 guesses. Those are my 3 identifiers for who this character is. Anyway, he performs some kind of a spell and really jacks up the one soldier. It turns out it's her father. He's got a tattoo, this Japanese soldier, a tattoo on his arm, and he rips that part off and says, I'm going to leave. And the little girl walks up and says, that's my father's. And she's like, oh, here, you can have this souvenir. I've got my own souvenir. I guess he stole his soul. So the body itself is all crushed and, like the bones and all. There's not much left of it, The little girl walks in. She doesn't cry. I don't see her cry once. We're going to skip to way in the future where the local Chinese government and Secret Service for the Chinese, they're actually investigating. There's something going on. Some big monster, apparently, according to witnesses. A bunch of different witnesses are saying a bunch of different kinds of monsters, but they're all giant, are killing people and leaving their bodies all mangled. One of them particularly is the reason why the Secret Service is getting involved is because, one, it's really widespread. There's a self-appointed curfew. Like, the government's not even putting on the curfew. The people are curfewing themselves because, like, nope, come in after dark, you won't get eaten. 1 murder every single night. Not happening, brah. Ain't gonna be me. I ain't the one. And I get it. So, what do you call it? This one Secret Service agent who had planned himself as a spy in another guy's organization, he gets found in a closet in exactly the same kind of thing. I think it's the girl. It might be Rasputin. Who knows? But I think it's the girl. And I think we see her. She's got a little armband. It's probably made of her dad's flesh and everything. This is a pretty wicked comic book, man. There is so much that happens in this comic book, and a lot of it is subtle. A lot of it is it's left up to your imagination. There's a lot of speculative writing, and I dig that, man. Like I said from the beginning, I was like transfixed in reading this comic book. Every single word seemed to have meaning, and I know it didn't, but practically did. Really excellent writing. The art it's not bad. All right, no, it's here. It's not great art. That's what I should say. It's not great art, but it's perfect for this particular kind of story. Like, I feel transposed into the comic book. That's seriously how this comic book made me feel. I'm stoked at how good this is. I'm really looking forward, and honestly, this is probably going to wind up leading me to read a lot more Hellboy. So yeah, trade paperbacks, here I come, I guess. We'll see. Let's see if we can get through the first story arc here. This is going to be an ongoing story. I'm looking forward to reading the hell out of it. Honestly, might even just get a movie out of it. Let's be realistic. Hellboy universe is ripe and rife for a couple movies out of it, right? All right, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.